Well, hello, my beautiful Librans. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-October right through to mid-November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations, so if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound, okay? So let us start your reading, and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who is coming towards you. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What do they need to know at this time? Can you please show them the way regarding their love situation? What are they going through right now? And who is on the horizon coming on in regarding love? How would you like to receive? Okay. Now, what's really interesting is that on the 13th of this month, Venus, your ruling planet, actually moves into your sign. So that's very exciting indeed, because it means better love opportunities. So if you felt it's been a little bit sparse on the dating scene, there is, more opportunities there. So yeah. A lot of you are going to meet someone out of the blue. This is a sudden turn of events because the clover basically means to be luckier in love, but also it is connected to the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel there is this energy of, being creative. I'm seeing lots of musical notes around you. So because of course, you are moving through your birthday season at this moment in time. Happy birthday to all you wonderful Librans who have just had your birthday, and of course, all of you who have yet to come. But this card indicates that a lot of you are leaning into your sensitive, sensual side at this time, doing more things that excite you. The lily is all about your libido. It's about passion. It's also about chemistry. So you are going to align with a person who has a lot of chemistry with you there. And as I said, I'm seeing lots of musical notes in the water. Now, this could mean that either you're going to a gig, for example, or perhaps you're a musician, or maybe the person you're about to meet is a musician. And I'm actually hearing very classical music at this moment in time. I'm being given Beethoven, Mozart, Wagner. Okay, there's just a lot of names coming. So perhaps, you or this person are into classical music, or maybe you're going to hear this classical kind of genre just before you meet this person. It's so random, it's coming through. I'm not being given anything specific, just really kind of like, if I was going to hazard a guess, the music I'm hearing right now is definitely Beethoven, okay? But yeah, I'm going to leave it like that because it tends to mean that someone perhaps is very knowledgeable about music across the board, lots of genre. So it could be that they, are connected to modern music, but they tend to look back on the classics for structure. So I'm just going to leave it there, okay? But maybe relevant. I had to mention it there. But this card, the lily is all about going out there, having fun, letting your hair down, and connecting to things that you're passionate about or events that interest you at this time. Now, of course, this card can indicate that, it's a long process to meet your soulmate. You've waited for a while there, but you are in bloom, okay? This is a card of maturity, knowing what you want, certainly what you do not want there. But, sometimes when you get the lily, it can indicate that a lot of you feel like your love life right now is like non-existent, okay? Especially since you have the clouds there. A lot of you have felt it's very sparse in the dating world. You may feel people are very inconsistent, transitory. The clouds is very changeable. It can be that just when you think you know where you're at with a person, suddenly, everything changes or dissolves and you're just so fed up of it. So a lot of you may have made yourself scarce. You may have been focusing on your own life, your own passions, prioritizing your own needs. And for some of you, not all of you, but I feel like you have met people in the past that you really kind of were involved with, as in you gave your all to it, and they may have been less mature than you. You may have been meeting people who were not really knowing what they wanted, or they were kind of like holding on to this sense of commitment issue when really they're running away from a part of themselves. So I feel a lot of you may have decided actually enough is enough. So you've kind of like kept yourself focused on things that you're passionate about. And a lot of you, as you mature, you may feel that you need to create space for love to come on in. So I do feel a lot of you are trying to create space, but this is the clouds. It's in the resistance position. So right now you cannot see how love is coming on in for you. And because it is in the resistance position and it's number 6. Okay, so 6 is the Lover's card energy. You read it in the reverse. So suddenly it will become clear. Suddenly out of the blue, you're going to meet a person. And of course, number 30 there, when you reduce it, 3 plus 0 is the Empress energy at number 3. So this means that you've been leaning into beauty routines, rituals, really giving back to yourself, prioritizing your health, your self-care, and, having a glow up, basically. You are very attractive with that card. That highlights attraction, being beautiful, attractive, handsome. Please take it as it resonates. This means that you are someone who has a natural gravitas. People are drawn to you, but right now you're like, nope, nothing's happening. So therefore, it's like you're blooming in the desert right now. And it feels really hard for you that, you're in your prime, but you just feel like, who's around to see it, as it were, right now. But you're seeing it, which is very important. So I feel like you're someone who basically blossoms all by yourself. You do not need another person. You want to be in a high-level commitment. And of course, we have the Wheel of Fortune clover there. So this indicates a sudden change of event, another opportunity at love, and it's unexpected. This is a card of surprise, success, and a win. So I feel this is the High Priestess energy at number 2. So this can be that there is like a psychic bond between you and a person, a contract, a knowingness between you and this new person, very enlightened relationship coming on in. You just get each other, you see each other, and you want to kind of go below the surface, as it were, to see deeper in each other. So someone who is committed right from the very beginning. But let's get to your Celtic cross, because that's going to give me a little bit more detail. That's the overarching energy. It's like, yes, you're on course to meet someone where there is a lot of frisson, a spark, a connection, a lot of chemistry there. And it may even surprise you. So let's see what's going on there. I mean, for some of you, you may have suddenly decided to be a little bit more interested in getting involved in community or in events, being a little bit more sociable. This season tends to be a little bit more sociable for the collective. We have the Tower and we have the 10 of Wands. Now that's really interesting because I think, was it Taurus? Maybe it was Taurus. I feel they got, or maybe Sagittarius. No, I think it was Taurus. I'm not sure though. They got those grounding energies as well, exactly in that position. So this can indicate that some of you, it feels like you're focused on your private life right now with that Tower. Some of you may have had a very shock ending in a previous experience, and you removed yourself completely from the dating scene because your foundations were completely shocked. Now, the Tower, as a grounding card, because it is your first card, it can indicate that you stand out naturally. You are someone who has a lot of gravitas. You are noticed by people. If you think about like when you go around the city, for example, or any place, even if it's a little town or village, people notice the Tower, right? It stands above everybody else. So I feel this is about you sticking to your integrity, your morals, what you believe in, and you really are a tower of power. But the Tower, of course, can indicate that some of you have been rebuilding, and this does not have to be connected to love, because you have a 10 of Wands there. It can be that a lot of you have like either isolated yourself in order to do everything to run your life, because the 10 of Wands can indicate you're overcommitted. Very busy, you got a lot on. You're doing a lot of heavy lifting in life right now. We've got the moon energy. Yeah, you're feeling a little bit uncertain about your love life. We've got the Three of Cups. A lot of you were more sociable in the past, or, you know, you got out a lot more. And of course, like, life is really challenging right now across the board. So it can be harder to find things that perhaps align with you, because with the Lily card, it means you're maturing. It means you are going through a period of enlightenment and an awakening. So that means that things that perhaps you once had an affinity with, you may be outgrowing or feeling differently about it, and you're trying to find your place in this brand new kind of world that you find yourself in. As you mature, it just feels like things are hitting different right now, and, you know, you're finding what connects to you, things that you're excited by, and they may be different than what you used to be excited by. So some of you are kind of going through that process right now. Five of Wands tells me it's a challenge, but also it tells me that, you know, for some of you, you may have entered into a period of training, or you feel like maybe the dating scene is a bit of a battleground, you know, lots of wounded people looking for love, but you're looking for someone who's done the work, someone who doesn't bring baggage into this relationship with you. And I feel that's who you're going to meet, someone who has done the work, someone who is balanced, harmonious, and, you know, emotionally available. Let's put it that way, because some of you may have met people like that in the past. Now, thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. We have that King of Swords. So this tells me you're going to be talking to someone new. We've got the Page of Wands there. Interesting. That is the frisson, the spark of something. And we have the High Priestess. Yes, interesting that you've got the High Priestess here, okay? It feels very much like it's connected to, of course, this card, because I mentioned number 2 being the High Priestess. But it's almost like this knowingness that you go to a place where you just feel like it's a special place. It's been calling to you, okay? For some of you, the Five of Wands is there. This could be like you being more active or hitting the gym, for example. But with that Lily, it tells me you being like in the company of like-minded individuals, people who share opinions that are, you know, perhaps different. I feel like you're going to meet a person who is not your usual type, but you kind of love it. It's thrilling is what I'm being given. So I'm going to clarify that High Priestess right at the end. For some of you, you could meet this person at a place where there's stillness. And of course, you know, with the Lily, that can be creativity. Now, if you think about it, like if you're going on a course of painting, for example, everyone's very still, concentrating on their painting, but at the same time, there's a group activity. It could also be like maybe meditation or Reiki or sound bath or something spiritual, because we have that High Priestess there. For some of you, if you celebrate a religion or faith, it could be connected to that as well, because I feel there's this energy of stillness, but it could be, I mean, also if you go to a recital, because that classical music came up there, everyone goes to convene to watch the magical music unfold and be affected by it, but everyone is very still. So maybe there's something in that. I'm not sure. I'll get to it when I get to it. But your first card there is the Tower. So this can represent some sort of structure that you've been in for some time. You know, the Tower can represent privacy, feeling a little bit alienated or isolated. If you're currently going through a major awakening, because that High Priestess energy is very much meaning that some of you could feel a little bit in between worlds. You're becoming, as it were, as you mature, you're finding your way to new things that excite you and leaving a lot of things that don't resonate behind at this moment in time. So you could be trying to find your place in a brand new world or a brand new circumstance. For some of you with that Ten of Wands, something may have come to an abrupt end. You may have just moved to a new neighborhood or new job, or you're dealing with something right now that is paving the way for a new beginning, but it feels like you're in between worlds, as it were, and you're trying to navigate this period. So that Tower can mean that you literally locked yourself off in order to deal with life, whatever life is happening for you at this moment in time. It's going to be different for everybody. But for some of you, that Tower can be there's a major restructure going on in your life. You could have been shocked by so many things, or you could be just having lots of epiphanies, downloads, and being like, okay, I had that experience. What is the lesson in that? Oh my gosh, I need to erect healthier boundaries, or I need to, you know, course correct. So it can be that you're having just lots of revelations right now, because the Tower can be a revelation card. But the Tower energy, it can be that there's moments of feeling like solitude, of course. There's a difference between loneliness and solitude. Those 3 a.m. thoughts may be occasionally loneliness. And we all go to those places when we're feeling, a little bit vulnerable in our energy, because the tower can be a little bit vulnerable, or especially with the moon there, you've got the sensitivity. But I feel like you're aligning with a person who just gets you body, mind, and soul, okay? Someone who wants to seek more, someone who's a soul seeker as well. They want to learn more about life, about themselves. Someone who is open to, taking this journey called life with you. I do see when you have a combination of a Page of Wands, that can mean someone who's loyal, who also, whilst there is a connection, a frisson, as it were, there's also, a person who is a soulmate. It means that they are your ride or die. It's like a teammate, as it were, who becomes your romantic partner where there's chemistry. So I will connect to that in a moment. But a lot of you, Ten of Wands, you're very busy doing a lot of projects, and basically for some of you it feels like you've been overcommitted. You've been holding it all together in life, right? Doing everything, the bills and all the stuff that we have to do in order to keep life running smoothly there. So you may feel that sometimes it's just really hard, or you're exhausted. This is a card of feeling like, whew, it's challenging, you're tired. And sometimes, it's like the last thing on your mind is now seeking to be in a relationship, because you've got a lot of stuff going on right now. But also, a lot of you, it can be that, you just got so fed up with the dating scene that it just felt like you were giving so much energy with little return, and there was just no one out there sparking your attention. So you may have just cut it short and said, nope, the end. But that Ten of Wands is in the resistance position, which basically means that you're a little bit more curious. You're opening up to a new beginning. A lot of you are kind of like burning the bridges to the past, so that you cannot go back. A lot of you also are clearing space by releasing emotions and, looking at what does not belong in your life anymore. Because you're going through like a bit of a shadow self moment with that moon energy. The moon is all about romancing your life, but also, it can be very sensitive feelings. 1 minute you feel, yep, I'm really independent, I don't need anybody. And the next minute you're like, okay, I'm craving. If you think about how the moon governs the tides and how it's like this ebb and flow. So you may have been like a little bit inconsistent in your own energy, where you're like, you know what, the last thing I need is someone else coming in, disrupting the structure that I have in my life right now, because the tower is a structure, basically. So it can be that there's a need to take a leap of faith right now, to acknowledge that the right person is not going to disrupt your life and the way that you've tried to create harmony. Because your advice to yourself in this moment is the Six of Pentacles. Balance, harmony, keep focused on your projects, focus on your finances, lead with a kind heart, be a good friend. You're leaning into friendships. But if your friendships are evolving right now as well, this could feel a little bit like life as you know it has really changed, and you're trying to find your way. When you have the High Priestess and the Moon, this is a lot of soul searching right now. So I feel like you have trying to be like prioritizing your own needs and work out who you are in these changes and focus on what aligns with you now. So a lot of, I don't want to say it like in a way that you're uncertain, because you got the clouds as well, but it feels very much like you're doing a lot of questioning. You have goals and dreams and you're totally working hard towards those. That Ten of Wands means you're doing, as I said, a lot of heavy lifting there. But also the Ten of Wands means you're nearly there. You're a very strong person. You're not giving up on love. And you are certainly focused on your projects, taking action there. A lot of you, this is a card of fatigue, burnout, overload, so it can be that you feel you needed to give back to yourself and replenish at this time. But also the moon, there tends to be a dog and a wolf on the moon card. And the dog, of course, is about fidelity, companionship, settling down, loyalty, faithfulness. And of course, the wolf is a little bit more independent. It's, got its pack, but of course it goes off and does its wild and wonderful things and then returns to the pack. So a lot of you may have been thinking, I'm enjoying my single life, I'm doing my thing, do I need a relationship? But then there's going to be those moments where you're like, oh, it'd be just nice to cozy up to someone and be like, we got this, it's us against the world kind of thing. So I feel like a lot of you are working out what it is that you want, because that Five of Wands can indicate that you're a little bit conflicted sometimes about love and relationships, especially if you've had very dramatic relationships in the past, or relationships that basically were toxic or broke you down and made you really tired, drained you, because this is a card of drain. So if you've had experiences, because a lot of you, with that Three of Cups, some of you may have felt like you were deceived in the past. If that's you, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. You know, you go through a process of learning about those experiences. I've been there myself in the past when I was ignoring my spiritual gifts, ignoring my intuition. You know, I had a whisper in my heart every single day that I woke up during a certain relationship that was literally destroying me, but I didn't realize. Okay, and this is many decades ago. But I was numbing these, you know, spiritual moments where I was like, whoa, I just saw an image of something. What was that? Am I going crazy? I thought all of these things, right? But it was trying to warn me every morning. I was getting this message that, come on, see it as it truly is. You know it deep in your gut. And I ignored it, of course, until things became critical. So some of you with that tower, you may be looking at your personal life, the experiences you've had in relationships, maybe even, you know, if you haven't had a relationship, moments where people led you on or breadcrumbed you or ghosted you for some of you. And you had a little hunch and you may have ignored that hunch. And why this is relevant is because the High Priestess means you've been put on pause on purpose to develop a connection with your higher self, to learn to trust your instincts and your intuition, to develop and foster that relationship with your gut instinct, basically, because I feel a lot of you have been put on pause on purpose right now. So with that moon energy, I feel like you're starting to see that, okay? And it does get better. Okay, I do see here that you will not repeat a cycle if you have been betrayed in the past, okay? Now, of course, some of you may not have been in a relationship in the past. You may have always been friend-zoned because you do have a lot of friend energy cards here, and you may have felt that was very challenging. It's like, well, where do you sit in all of this? Because you have feelings, but the right person, you know, is coming along here for you, and I feel like it's a meeting of hearts and minds, and also there's a lot of passion. So I feel like you are aligning with a person, and actually, you may have even more than one admirer, okay? Because I feel there's like a flirtation energy as well, but we'll get to that in a moment. We've got the Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups is group activity. It's community. It's sharing a moment with people. So some of you may actually have an invitation to something. Because it's in the past position, a lot of you may have received this invitation already. This could be to a party, event, a wedding, an engagement, a birthday, a house party, you know, maybe even something that you booked. There's a strong potential for you to meet a person at that event because we have this Page of Pentacles here, someone who is worthy of your love, okay? King of Swords in your circumstances outside of yourself just tells me that, you know, you're going to be talking to a person who is a great communicator, someone who is honest and true and open, and someone who, I feel this person that you're about to meet, they have been hurt before, okay? This person has a past, and they've been challenged. They've done a lot of spiritual work, and this person knows themselves, and they would never inflict some of the things that they've experienced themselves on another person. This person actually is careful with your heart, okay? And someone who says it how it is. This person is not going to lead you down the garden path. I want you to be aware of that, okay? Now, Three of Cups, of course, is also an energy of feeling like it was easier to be sociable in the past. So whatever it is you're dealing with right now, there'll be an ebb and flow. And I feel like if you're thinking about going to something or booking something, there's a whisper in your heart right now. That's your guide saying, do it, go there. Do not ignore the whisper is what I'm being given here, because I feel like it's about to put you in a path to meet this person. I feel, you know, wherever it is, it feels somehow people gather, but there's stillness. I keep coming back to this. So yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. I mean, I'm not even seeing like a restaurant or anything like that, because of course people sit, there is a kind of a stillness there, but there's a busyness, an ambiance where, you know, everybody's rushing around to serve tables and things. So I don't feel it's something like that. I feel it's more that there is like a genuine stillness for a reason. Okay, so yeah, I will leave that there. We have the Five of Wands. This is in your protagonist energy. Five of Wands is an energy of tension. Okay, now when as humans we feel comfortable in life, okay, we tend to keep things at an even keel. You know, we don't feel the need to change anything because things are comfortable, right? Whenever there has been moments of great change in any human's life, it came at the cost of tension. Suddenly there's a whisper. Suddenly you're like, okay, I've got the structure. I mean, the tower can literally mean that, you know, you are a homebody. You're in your sanctuary, your empire. You've built your empire. You're sitting in your home. And although, you know, some of you may be online dating, if you're not connecting to anyone that aligns with your energy, some of you may feel a little bit frustrated. So the Tower is like, get out of your comfort zone, do something different, do something new. The Five of Wands is there to nudge you with that tension. And if we do not listen to the tension within us, where we feel like, oh, I'm so frustrated. We go to the same places, see the same faces, and I'm not meeting anyone new. If you're not listening to this, suddenly the universe will come along and like nudge you off that fence. And what I mean by that is, the universe works in mysterious ways. So if you go to the same places and the same faces, suddenly you may find that actually the same place is not available to you anymore. Either there's like a refurbishment, it's completely closed, or, it closes down or it relocates, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the place I felt familiar in, that I kind of liked going to. The universe says, out of the comfort zone. No. So sometimes some radical things occur when the universe says, oh my gosh, you know what? They're not listening. We got to do something radical. We got to point them in a different direction. The only way to do that, stop them from going from A to B, close that down. So they've got to find a different route. So some of you may have noticed that lots of things have been kind of like preventing you or kind of like guiding you. Because I don't want to say blocking you. I feel it's more a guidance, like, nope, not this way, not this way, not this way, not this way. Oh, look, you found the person you're meant to be with. So I feel right now there's a bit of a rerouting going on in your life if you feel things are a little bit different, okay? Now, Page of Pentacles, this is a new person who's curious, someone who's invested, someone who makes the effort, okay? This person, I feel they are stable, they are exciting to be with because it's the near 6 week position that I'm reading for in this position, in this spread. So this means 2 things really I'm getting from this. One is you either pay for an event or you're invested in an event or something you're curious about. For some of you, this can be that you're learning about yourself or you're applying for something that perhaps is a little bit further off that you're going to go to. Okay. And I'm getting that for about 40% of you actually. And the other energy I've got is that, you've already booked something that you're going to, and there is someone there that is literally careful with your heart, worthy of your attention, and someone who makes a difference in your life, okay? There's just a sense of knowingness. When you have a Page of Pentacles, this is about commitment, okay? The first kind of indication that you could have a commitment with this person. You're not going to rush into anything because you've got the High Priestess there, which means you're cautious, okay? You're going to see it develop. Page of Pentacle always has that seed where something can develop. So I feel there is a strong indication here that you're meeting a person who complements your life. So your advice to yourself in this moment, 6 of Pentacles, keep measured, balanced, harmonious. But also, I do see this energy because the 5 of Wands is giving me strong vibes of like someone giving their 2 cents. So this could be a friend because 6 of Pentacles with a 3 of Cups. There could be a friend who says, you know what, I've got someone that I think you'd be great with. So there could be someone who tries to get involved because the 5 of Wands can be some interference, like someone says, you know what, I've got someone I'd love you to meet. So I'm just going to pull a quick card on that to see how you would feel about this person. Because I feel there's a friend here who's shocked that you are single. And, you're awesome, but I feel you've been put on pause on purpose to really connect with yourself so that you do not neglect your own needs. We got the 8 of Wands. Ooh, things could develop quite quickly here with this 8 of Wands. So some of you are going to have a friend who says, I got someone I think you should meet. And they're going to introduce you to somebody. This could be at an event or a place where you travel to that's not your usual place. Okay. 8 of Wands is lots of messages back and forth, flirtatious messages. Wands are all about energy, passion, chemistry. So I'm quite excited about this. So this could be, connected there for some of you, but the majority of you, it still seems to be connected because that 3 of Cups, it's telling me that there's some sort of group activity or where people gather. So maybe a friend tells you about an event. It could be that. But 8 of Wands is an energy like ready to fall in love. When you look up what an 8 of Wands means when it comes to love, it can be that, you start questioning, is this love or is this lust? Because it can happen really fast. Okay, but because of your overarching energy with the Wheel of Fortune, it tells me that there is a surprise, something that is not planned. So this could be like someone vying for your affection that you think, oh, actually, there's chemistry here. This could be, as I said, a minor flirtation coming on in here for you, okay? And you get to decide whether you're falling in love with this person, of course, or not. But I feel like you will have more than one opportunity because we've got 2 pages here, okay? 2 people curious. And I feel like one is connected somehow to a friend and the other is very much surprised, someone new, someone you have not met before, okay? So you will have a choice is what I'm seeing there. Now, we have the King of Swords, and this is your outside circumstances energy. I mean, your advice to yourself right now is lean into friendship, harmonize your life, try to eradicate drama. A lot of you may be like being more active, trying to get more sociable. For some of you, you may be even wanting to go to the gym because that's my gym card with the 5 of Wands. I mean, some of you may actually meet this person down the gym, but again, it's not leaning into this sense of stillness, not unless there's some sort of like class at a gym that brings stillness, you know, like yoga or Pilates, or I'm not sure. So I'll leave it like that because maybe. I'm just getting this major energy where there's a gathering and people are super still. Okay, so that's it. Now, the King of Swords, as I said, is the circumstances outside of yourself. Thinking is important. Your thoughts become things. Your words are spellings cast out to the universe. So this is about you and, you know, taking action on something that you're thinking about, but also believing, because the High Priestess is like belief in oneself. Believe that what you are, you know, manifesting at this moment in time shall become your reality. As above, so below. And this card indicates you're going to be talking to someone very soon. Someone who's a great communicator. Okay, now I'm going to pull a card because, of course, we've got 3 cups here. And we've got 3 people here. So I just want to see, is this 3 people? Or, you know, when you do a Celtic cross, it normally means aspects of self, the journey to get to where you need to be in order to, you know, meet your soulmate or meet an opportunity. So I want to see, is this 3 people that you will kind of consider? It's like buses, they all come along at once. Or is this aspects of self? I'm feeling 2 people. I got to be honest with you. I'm feeling 2. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's actually 2 people and you kind of let one down, okay? 5 of Pentacles can be that you feel there's one person that you have to sort of say, I'm sorry, but you're not what I'm looking for. You may do it better than that. I feel like you're not aligned. And I feel this person also kind of feels the same, okay? 5 of Pentacles, let me just go one more. The Sun, yeah. The Sun is like you let go of that 5 of Pentacles in order to be happy elsewhere. The Sun is basically happiness. It's an awakening. It's growth. It's like you now know, because you have a higher connection with your personal development and your higher self, that you know which one is love and which one is lust, okay? 5 of Pentacles is an energy of like, it's challenging, it's difficult. It'll be difficult to choose, of course, but you know deep inside of yourself. And when you meet a person that you're aligned with, you just know. There's just no second guessing it. You're going to fall deeply in love with a person. But I wanted to be clear in the energy as to whether this was 3 people. I mean, the 5 of Pentacles basically means that there's less than what I was asking. So I want you to be aware of that. That's why my guys were giving me like, okay, yeah, it's less. Okay, so it's 2 people here I'm feeling. One is like a minor flirtation or, you know, an offering from a friend to say, hey, what about this person? I've got someone I'd like you to meet. But you're going to be talking to someone. It just basically represents lack of people, more like an aspect of self and how difficult it is. But when you meet this new person, it's going to be super easy to talk to this person. So if you're someone who's super shy, this new person is going to just feel easy to talk to. And there's a familiarity about this person as well. Now, this card is in your hope and a fear position. You hope there's chemistry. You hope this person, you know, is your soulmate. You hope that, you know, this person is passionate, loyal, you know, and offers a commitment where there's friendship connected to that as well. And I feel like that's what you're going to get. You know, with that High Priestess energy, I will pull a card on it because it feels like you're making an effort to go to something in the next 6 weeks. And I feel like there is a person you talk to in the next 6 weeks. And for some of you with that King of Swords, swords are connected to the air, the ether. If you're like connecting to online chat forums or doing things online, then of course this can be that you're meeting someone online. I mean, that would bring people together and there's a stillness. I just thought of that as well. Okay, so if you're into online dating or chat forums and things like that, there could be a connection between you and a person there. But if you're like, no, I want it to be organic, because Page of Pentacles, a lot of you, this can be that you want it to be organic, a meeting like face to face kind of energy. I do feel like you're going to meet a person face to face. Now, if you celebrate Samhain or Halloween, for some of you, there is an element of dressing up here. Random, I know. But I'm being given this hooded figure as like fancy dress as well. So yeah, that's coming out there. Random, but I thought I'd mention it. I mean, it is the season for it, so it just popped out. But, you know, the fear in this position, because you just read the card connected to the position, the fear is someone who's distracted. Someone where there's no chemistry, where you're like, okay, they kind of tick all the boxes, but they just don't have that thing. They don't have that spark. But the High Priestess tells me when you know, and you're going to connect to a person who just has an affinity with you there. And for some of you, you may actually be a little bit quiet about this relationship when you first kind of develop it, because you don't want to jinx it. You know, you may have felt that when you have introduced people as your significant other, then things start to fall apart. So I feel like you're just going to like be very private about this connection at first, is what I'm seeing there as well. And also a fear is meeting someone who's immature. I felt like you may have met someone like this in the past. Because you have the clouds there, the moon, this can be that you, or some of you, not all of you of course, have experienced ghosting, or, you know, people who are very immature that's just breadcrumbed, you know, and I feel like you're just so over that, and like never does anyone want that, of course, but I feel like it may have made you feel very kind of like hesitant to get into a relationship or be on the dating scene, because you're like, well, how can I trust that people are just not going to waste my time? But this person is not going to waste your time, okay? That's something that's coming through very strongly. Now, we have the High Priestess energy, and this is about your connection to your higher self, but also, you know, when you have the High Priestess, it is in between worlds, so that can mean, you know, having to make a decision about two people there, but also this is a card of hesitancy or caution sometimes. So I feel this could be that for some of you, when you meet this person at first, you're like, oh, okay, because the King of Swords is there, some of you are going to be a little bit detached at first, like, I need to suss this person out. Is this a thing? You know, you don't want to misread the room, as it were. So I feel like you're going to be doing a lot of questioning. Some of you maybe even in stealth mode, because the High Priestess can be like, you go off grid momentarily to like seek out the information about this person. Are they connected to somebody else? What's going on there? So not in a paranoid way, just in a very protective measure way. Let me just pull a card on this High Priestess. I want to see a little bit more about this for my beautiful Librans, what they need to know. We've got the Five of Cups. Yeah, Five of Cups is telling me you've got another five. So that tells me that you let someone down, or you feel that one person is not aligned with you. It doesn't feel like it works. And then, you know, the collective are actually getting a lot of that recently. Five of Cups energy. Ooh, we got that Eight of Wands again. So I feel like you're going to meet this person. And there's two, as I said. And I mean, one of them may be just a fleeting thought. You know, because you've got that Five of Cups and then you've got the Nine of Swords. So it can be that, you know, you get introduced to a person and you're like, okay, they tick all the boxes. There's a bit of chemistry, but it's not the big thing that I'm looking for. And the Nine of Swords can be like, you're, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You know, maybe this was my last shot at love. Or, you know, if it didn't work with this person, how's it going to work with anybody? You know, there can be this like energy. The Five of Cups is a sadness, a lament, a disappointment. Okay, so I just feel that for some of you, I have to say it how it is because it keeps coming out in the cards. It feels like you meet a person and it's like a minor disappointment, like, oh, okay, they're not right. But I feel like you're in control of the situation where you're like, okay, you know what, I'm going to say no, it's not a deal, we're not doing this, okay? And the Nine of Swords is an energy of challenge, over-analyzing something. But the Five of Cups, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, I really love this deck. It's so beautiful. But the traditional Rider-Waite actually gives you a pictorial image of what the card means. And there is a figure lamenting 3 cups. So each cup represents an opportunity, of course. And, 3 cups are spilt. So it means some of you is like you're so disappointed, or you've been there, done that, and it just wasn't fulfilling. So I do feel some of you are actually going to encounter a person where you're like, you know what, you're awesome, really awesome, but you're just not for me. There's going to be someone out there who loves you wildly, but it's not me. And then I feel like you're going to meet a person that you feel, wow. Because if you know that traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, and if you don't, please look it up, because it shows you pictorially a little bit more depth about what the card is about. There's 2 cups in the background that the figure has not even noticed yet. They haven't turned around. They can't see that love is coming on in. But 2 cups full represent a union, an agreement, a sharing of your life together, love, an affinity, 2 people choosing each other every single day kind of relationship coming on in. And that 8 of Wands is you kind of like knowing that you can see a future with this person and going the distance with this person. And I just feel like things will escalate quickly, but organically. But you're still going to be a little bit hesitant, like, is this lust? Is this love? Is this lust? Is this love? You're going to like kind of question or try and work it out. But is there a loving relationship coming on in? The answer is yes. Okay, so, but I feel like you'll either turn someone down, or there's going to be like a minor flirtation first, and then, of course, you'll make your decision. And your final card is, I follow my heart. Yes, your heart knows the way. Absolutely. If your heart is whispering to go to an event, that's your guides putting that in your heart to follow. Okay, so if there's something calling out to you, whether it's a gig, whether it's, a theater show, whether it is a hobby, whether it is travel, whatever it is, follow your heart, because that is leading you right into the path of meeting this new person, because they're also following their heart as well. And the 2 are co-aligning. Remember, we're all energy, energetic beings, being driven and drawn in different directions, having an intuition, a gut instinct on something. Just as much as you're pulled to an event, the person of your dreams is also being pulled to that event too, so that both of you can meet. So that's coming through, okay? I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Ooh, we got 2. Isn't that interesting? We've got the peace symbol here. Peace, I mean, again, it comes back to peace and stillness. Okay, so peace symbol may be important. Also, we've got a key, and the key has got a heart on it. So this new person's got the key to your heart, but also this about following your heart is the key to unlocking the path to your destiny. And for some reason, I'm being given to remember that this person is your destiny, because the key literally represents destiny. And you've got the Wheel of Fortune. You're destined to meet this person. So I would say, relax, enjoy yourself, enjoy the journey it takes to get to meet this person. Because when you meet this person, I feel like you commit on so many deep levels. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Librans. Thank you so much, and love and light.